from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial along with our apparel partner 656 and our accessories partner Cosmic Byte. I'm Floki, with me is Salty, wearing the TC jersey of course got to you by 656. So if you want one of those, check the links out in the description below. But Salty, how you doing my man? Today's matches are looking quite hype.
Exactly. I mean, this is going to be a real high octane action game. You look at both the games that are lined up for today. First up, we have EXO versus Team S8UL. Next up, it's going to be FSESPORTS versus Only Friends. Now, generally, Floki, we have the main event for the later part of the day when it's like 8 p.m. People come in
Hmm.
home from their offices and stuff. But this time around, we have this 12 p.m. game, which is going to be really, really big. I feel like both the teams, they have
Hmm.
huge fan bases in their own rights. Team EXO versus S8UL. Now, the storyline that drives this game is going to be really cool. Team EXO, a team that has redeemed themselves, are really, really good in form versus Team S8UL under a renewed banner. This team has kind of struggled, and it's going to be hard for them to kind of overcome the juggernauts of Team EXO. But then again, I feel like Team S8UL is a side with such a big fan following, with such great players. They can pull off wonders any day. So it's always going to be the David versus Goliath storyline. But then again, both the teams are probably as big as Goliath in this one.
Absolutely. I mean, what Soul is essentially is a ticking time bomb, right? Until then, they're David. Until then, they're the lesser guys. These are the guys who, if they win, we're gonna be a little bit surprised. But you never know, man. Today just might be the day where they wake up and they're like, you know what, we're in form. We've played with each other. And with that out of the way, let's actually have a look straight at the MVP standing, see who's on top there, so we can get some more context as we go into these sets of matches. Of course, in the first place, it's the Maker of Death, followed by Paradox, Shooter, and IonQ. Shooter, of course, from Team Exploit. Now, yesterday, if you were up and you were watching the matches, you would know that unfortunately, Team Exploit had to forfeit because one of their players could not show up at the right time due to internet issues. They played 4v5 Salty, and we went through a
Mm-hmm.
lot of overtimes in that 4v5. So, just a bit of a side note, but yeah, Team Exploit is also someone you've got to look out for. But yeah, with that out of the way, Fortunately, no EXO player over here, no solo player here in the MVP standings, but we do see Reckoning players and True Ripper players here, so that's
Exactly.
quite promising. Well, with that said, let's have a look at the group standings now and see where each of these teams are located and see what's at stake here. Because if you are S8UL, I believe you're going to be somewhere in the fifth to sixth position, and perhaps winning out one of these
Oh,
matches is going to improve. Okay, they are in the seventh place right now, but that's because they haven't played their third match yet. So I think
hmm.
if they play this match out and they win, it's gonna be a twofold victory for them because not only do they go up a peg themselves, they also knock EXO down a little bit, make it a bit more achievable for them to get in the top four.
Exactly. Now, Group B was always a group of death. Like you see all these teams, and every one of these single teams are probably potential playoff contenders, and that what makes this group so interesting. You look at Team EXO; they've had a flawless start to the series. They've had a flawless start to the league stage, 2-0 for them, 4 points on the leaderboard. Third game, a potential win again might take them to number one, which Team EXO should. Since season two, this team has completely changed itself, and now they are one of the biggest teams in the group B, in Group B. But you look at Team S8UL, right? It has been scratchy. It has been really tough for them to kind of get things running on their camp. A 2-0 in terms of losses isn't really the best way to start a league or a group stage. But then again, I feel like, just like you mentioned, if they take down Team EXO and balance the series, I feel like Thanos will be really happy because he likes things balanced. And well, then Team STL, they have a fighting chance. Otherwise, it will be difficult for them to really survive the relegation zone, the seventh and the eighth spot. You always look at what is the next potential goal for you right now for Team SHUL going on to the playoff spot and probably competing for the playoffs is going to be a little difficult because True Rippers and Exploit, they're already off the mark with 4 points. You see, it's all
Yeah.
4 and 5 over there already. For Team SHUL, I guess the best way to proceed with things is probably going to be, surviving that relegation zone and at least put themselves to fifth in the sixth spot, and then probably push even further if they have the opportunity.
Absolutely. I think you nailed it right there. But I think we are going to be moving on to the Team EXO spotlight for now. Let's have a look at let's have a look at all of their players. Actually, we'll have a look at one of the players a little bit later. But right now, let's just see what their roster is made up of. It's going to be, of course, Wimp, Coast, Psy, Excali, and Blackhawk. Five names that you'll be recognizing if you've been up to date with the Indian FPS scene in our country. Of course, all of these names very very familiar if you've been following certain other tactical shooters. But yeah, they got together in Valorant as well. They had a slow start. Not gonna cut any
Yeah.
corners. The first two seasons weren't the best for them, but now it seems that they're finally getting into their groove and starting to mesh together as a team and starting to become a top contender. These guys are the ones who you want to beat if you want to make it
Yeah.
to the likes of G and Velocity.
Exactly. I feel like they are the ones who probably would be the third tier of Velocity Global, and then probably we might mention Team EXO in the same tier as well. You look at the lineup; everyone is crazy talented in terms of individual capabilities. But this team is not about individual capabilities. It was a few months ago, but right now with the addition of Ghost, I've spoken this every single time Team EXO comes on my team spotlight. Like Ghost's addition has, I don't know what has done to this team, but he has brought in melody in the chaos. Every single player is more synergized right now. They have that calm and collected fragger in the form of Ghost. They have that X factor in the form of Sai. They have that man who can really get into the minds of the opposition in the form of Excalibur. This man knows how to kill you with a 360 flick and then go and probably do a teabag in front of you, and you won't be able to do anything. But with the addition of Blackhawk and Wimp, I feel like these two guys are probably the backbone of the team. I've always looked at Team EXO and how they play on several maps, but especially I want to talk about Split for a little bit because these three players, the right at the center, Go, Sai, and Excali, they will try and push down mid while Wimp and Blackhawk will try and flank you from the left and right hand sides, which makes it such a nice combination. I feel like this team has got themselves, together on the same page, just like you mentioned. The first two seasons they struggled, but right now they've got themselves on the same page. Communications are really good, and now results are kicking in as well. What can be better for Team X? So I feel like everything is just lining up for them. The stars are lining up.
Absolutely. Well, with that, let's have a look at the player spotlight and see which one of these players deserves all the praise that we've just been giving them. It's of course going to be the right hand of Team EXO. It's going to be Ghost on that stage, actually. Interesting because usually you see Ghost play those duelists. We've
Yeah.
seen Excali pick up that jet too from time to time, but it's certainly something that they both swap around, right? Now, the last time
Yeah.
I caught EXO, they were swapping that jet between each other, if I recall correctly. I
Yeah.
wonder if Ghost is now the dedicated jet player, if it's Excali.
I mean, Ghost has been playing Jet quite a few times. Excali sometimes picks up the Jet if Ghost plays the Sage. On the map of Split, you'll generally see Ghost play the Sage, of course, due to the Sage wall, which is really important. You look at the
Yeah,
statistics, right? Kills 75, deaths 49, assists 29, and ACS is 238. It just signifies one thing. This man is the reincarnation of probably, I don't know, you patronize consistency. This man is going to be the symbol for you. He has been fragging every single time. When the team is at its rock bottom, this man is going to deliver you. When the team is at its peak, this man is deliver you with kills as well. There is no stopping Ghost, at least for the time being right now, with the current form that he is in. And he has been one of the influential fraggers for the team. But of course, it's not just Ghost. I generally always talk about the team as a whole and not just a single player. It generally is like one man fragging for the team, but the rest of the players trying to set that man up for the kills that he's going to get. So the rest of the
yeah.
players, they've had their influence as well, but Ghost, he is the one who is like the cherry on top of the cake. He is going to give you the statistics and the numbers with the kills and everything else. And I guess he does his job brilliantly. Doesn't really matter if he's a Jet or a Sage. He's like, you know what, I'll pull off a battle Sage and you wouldn't even understand what's happened to you.
Absolutely. I mean, what's common about all agents? Well, they all are capable of holding rifles and shooting you in the head. And to Ghost, that's all that matters. But I think we've talked enough about Goliath for now. Let's have a look at David. Let's go over to Team Soul Spotlight and see what they're made up of. As I'm quite sure you'll recognize a lot of these names, but seeing them together is not perhaps what I was expecting. Badman, Gorvexy, Binks, Strix, and Easy. Now, at first sight, like this, you don't exactly think about this and be like, wait, this is the roster. But ever since we had that whole shuffle going on with Enigma and
Yeah.
Batman, ended up leaving the team and whatnot. This is the lineup that has, caught people's attention and has like been under people's how should I say it? It's been the line of people looking up to
Yeah.
right now to just try and break that top tier scene. Unfortunately, they haven't had the best of starts so yet. They're still 0-2. I think they've gotten 1 point, but that's all they've gotten so far. And they're probably
Yeah.
going to be looking to get some more here against the side of EXO. I mean, even if they don't win, I hope they can at least take one map off, just make their position a little bit better. But hey, you never know. If EXO woke up on the right side of the bed, that could be a task and a half for the side of Team Seoul. But that was all the
True
players
that.
from the side of Team. So let's actually have a look at the player spotlight and see who it is we should be keeping an eye out for. As I do believe that Team Soul is probably going to be the duelist. No, it's actually Badman playing that Viper.
Ooh.
Not someone you expect, but you have to remember Badman was the Rock of Enigma. Can he do the
Yeah.
same for Soul the Salty?
He has been trying to carry the same responsibility on his shoulders. He has been trying to hold the team and its backbone straight, but in times of adversity, Batman and his attempted flanks as well as attempted backstabs don't really go in the right direction. I wanted to talk about this about S8UL, that most of the times they haven't been able to kind of convert games and rounds which they should win. They come into a position where they are supposedly in control in a particular round, and then suddenly they just completely steamroll their way into defeat, and probably there's nothing that they can do from that position.
Yeah.
They've depended too much on individual capabilities. God Vexy has been the guy. I was actually thinking that the player spotlight is going to be God Vexy, because that man has clutched quite a few rounds for Team S8UL in all the series that they have played so far. But with Strix and God Vexy in the lineup, as well as Badman, who is currently our player spotlight, you can kind of depend on these players. Of course, with that ever flamboyant Bings, you know that there's going to be some entertainment as well. And of course, with the showstopper, if he picks up the
Oh
race,
yeah.
of course, he can take down multiple players at once. So, I mean, S8UL individually is capable, but then synergy wise, they've had problems. But if you speak of Batman and his stats, I feel like they're immaculate. As a controller, you always don't really need a positive KD ratio. I guess he has done his job trying to get space for the team and let the team enter into sites, and probably also deliver with the gun as well with an ACS of
Yep.
187. This man has been consistent, but what Team S8 will really need right now is probably to sit calmly in the drawing room and figure out their real strat book and figure out how they can synergize together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the more cooler things to look about at Team SATL is what Batman's role has been, right? So previously he used to lurk for the side of Enigma, he used to be the guy who on offense would probably just hold the backstab, or just try to get a
Yeah.
cheeky kill here or there somewhere, try to create an opening for his team if the main offensive doesn't work out. But over here, he has to be more of the stable controller kind of player. It's not that different of a playstyle, but it does restrict you a lot. And I think somewhere or the other, Batman, I think that's going to take time for him to adjust to, just not having that same freedom like you would on that lurk whenever you're playing something like the Cypher or whatnot. And as a result, I think Batman, he really hasn't shown his full potential. And I think once Soul reaches that point where they're familiar with each other, where they're able to, pull off, they're able to pull off calls on the fly. They're able to be like, okay, guys, you know what, this push isn't working out. Let's try and throw utility elsewhere. Let's try and get some control elsewhere on the map. Maybe that's when Batman can really start shining. But until then, I think Soul are going to be struggling a little bit. But perhaps it is. What they need, perhaps it is adversity that they crave so that they can actually reach that level, and maybe that's exactly what EXO is going to provide to them. Give them a tough fight, bring out the best in them, and hopefully we can see EXO elevate the side of Seoul to the next level, and hopefully they start giving us a lot better in terms of matches as we move on down over to the next few matches that they're going to be playing, of course. But with that out of the way, I think we are ready to look at the map feature, something that we have been interested for in this in the longest amount of time. And of course,
Oof.
it can't be a soul match if there's not Bind in it, right? I mean, you see Binks in a team, you have to assume Bind's going to be picked.
Exactly, no surprises over there, and I feel like Team S8UL, they're going to be a comfortable team. Soul on Bind, this is good, but Team EXO, they start on Icebox. Now, this is something spicy. Team EXO, they love playing Icebox. It is their home turf, but they're not playing Split. I assume Split has been banned by S8UL right off the bat because they know that they are literally unbeatable in that map. It's interesting how the map pick actually looks like, because I assume the Team EXO will probably ban Bind right at the get-go, but that is not something that they've done. I guess they're confident on the map of Bind as well, but Icebox, I'm not really sure if S8UL do have a fighting chance. They start on defense. Team EXO, they are really flamboyant when it comes to their attacking strategies on Icebox. They have multiple, they have a library of strat books, so they can pull off a victory on the map of Icebox, but Bind definitely looks heavy on the side of Team S8UL. Now, it really depends, right? If Bind goes to Team S8UL, we might see a decider on the map of Ascent, which should be like a 50-50 chance. It's supposed to be a neutral venue. Everybody plays their deciders on the map of Ascent, but it just all depends on the map of Bind, honestly. Like Team Soul, for them right now, is probably to get into the best of form in the map of Icebox, and then probably defeat Team EXO on the map of Bind, because Icebox against EXO, it's going to be a really, really tough job.
Okay. Fair enough. I agree with that assessment. I do think that Team EXO, for them, the bigger challenge is probably going to be taking down Soul on Bind, because Bind is something that they are familiar with, right? Perhaps as a roster, they've not played as much, but as individual players, they know
Hmm.
how Bind works, and maybe they
Yeah.
can incorporate some of that. So if they can have a good game on Icebox, at least make it a little bit competitive for EXO, their chances on Bind might not look all that bad. We might even see a couple of OTs here and there, but if they manage to take a map off of EXO, then Ascent can just be the playground that they want. In the end, they can just go over to Ascent and hopefully make something happen over there. With that said, though, I do know that Sai picked up KO on Bind the last time I saw him play on EXO. I believe it was last month's playoffs, so I don't know exactly when. So I'm quite excited to see that. I wonder if they pick the KO on Icebox too. I imagine it's not very good there. You probably want someone like the Sova or the Sky instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have to say I'm just very happy to see another team adapting the KO. I'm happy no one has adapted Euro though. He can stay in the trash can, but KO getting love is always something that I'm down to see.
I mean, true that. Euro, I feel like this agent is something which is in like the taboo books right now. You cannot play that agent in a competitive game
Oh yeah.
unless, of course, you're trying to, flash and dash in your rank, flash and trying to, uh, play in your ranked games. Of course, in competitive, I'm not really sure if there is a lot of utility when it comes to Euro, because it works similar to a jet. I feel you try and teleport
Mhm.
yourself into a site, and then be that live recon dart for the team, give yourself give your team some information about where the defense, what the defense looks like, and then probably get yourself some entry frags as well. But apart from that, like I don't feel in the map of Icebox there is any utility. A typical composition on the map of Icebox for me would probably be like a Viper, a Sky, a Jet, and then depends on what two Sentinels you want to pick. Do you want to go with a Sage as well, like KJ, or probably you want some Flasher along with the KJ or a Cypher? A Cypher doesn't really have all that utility in the map of Icebox, but this is going to be my default composition on the map of Icebox. Not really sure what Team EXO and Soul are going to pick up though.
Yeah, gotta agree with you on that. I feel like Viper is pretty much a must-have, and so is Sky. That Sky can just do so many things on this map. It's not even funny. The difference is in the details, right? It's what you pick apart from those two or three agents is what makes or breaks you as a team.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we saw a team get really creative and pick up the Astra. I don't quite remember who that was, but that was a very interesting mix to see an Astra plus a Viper in the same team. They didn't go for a Sage, by the way, and they ended up winning that match too. Unfortunately, I just can't recall their names just yet. So there are different approaches for Icebox that we've seen up until this point. I am just curious if X are going to stick to the tried and tested Sova plus Sky combo, or if they're going to do something a little bit more funkier. I just hope they don't pick Yoru. I've seen Yoru being picked up on Icebox before. I've also seen Yoru being picked on Haven. It never works. It's never worked in the past, and I hope teams stay away from that agent for a while. But yeah, with that out of the way, Bind is where things get really interesting because not only do you have the KO coming in from the side of EXO, I think even the side of S8UL have some pretty interesting agent comps for that one. I know they have the Rays all the time, but I think we're just about ready to jump into the agent selection screen as the players are into the lobby. They have said that they're ready, and we should be jumping into agent selection screen as soon as that's ready. So, yeah, we're not going to be leaving up much to mystery. Let's have a look at what they're going to be picking up. There you go. EXO just going to stick to the tried and tested Saisoa and the Blackhawk Viper. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. It's going to be Excali playing the Jet this time around. Ezzy actually hovered over the Brimstone there for a hot second, and I thought maybe we're going to see something different, but no, they're going to go for the Sage themselves. Mirror lineups, nothing too crazy over here. Just a single duelist to make it work, and we'll see how well it works out for them. But yeah, Salty, we're about to get into the game. I am going to ask you for your predictions. I am going to ask you, which team do you think is going to take this map and why?
Team EXO just because of their running form. I feel like the agent composition makes no difference. It's just mirror lineups, just like you mentioned. But Team EXO, they've played this composition more than Team S8UL did. They've succeeded on this composition more than they did. Of course, no surprises with how they're gonna play. I feel like there are gonna be dedicated lugs. There are gonna be some different strats. But Team S8UL, with the kind of approach that we have seen in the past, it's gonna take them a while. It's gonna take them a while to at least get comfortable on the map of Icebox. On the map of Bind, of course, they might, but Icebox is a much larger map which demands more tactical prowess. So Team S8UL, yeah, they take the backseat for me right now. Team EXO would be at the driving seat for me.
Okay, fair enough. So for you, it's probably EXO taking this map. I have to agree with that sentiment as well. I think it's going to be EXO's map. And if they lose, it's going to be their map to lose, really, because I think over the past few months, this team has really developed and pushed themselves to newer heights. Starting things off here, a very quick recon coming in here from the side of... coming in from the side of Team Soul, not something I was expecting.
what?
But Strix pushing up
Strix?
too quick. Wimp's gonna clean him out. And looks like this A site's gonna be up for the taking. No one here to try and hold it. Coast just gonna put the wall down, get the spike down, play for post plant. No need to do anything more. And I think God Vexy also hit a shock dart, so he's quite low in terms of HP as well. Oh no, as he could be in for a nasty surprise. He's gonna get shot from the side of his head. Ghost is gonna clean him up. There you go. It's only God Vexy and Binks standing, but they both get cleaned up as well. And Binks is playing the Killjoy?
Yeah, he sometimes does pick up the killjoy, but this round was more like an F1 race for me instead of a Valorant game. Like Team EXO, they crashed into side. I kind of didn't understand what Strix tried to do. I probably think that he felt like he could really stop Team EXO right on their tracks, but that's not happening. With 5 players dumping you with bullets, how do you survive that onslaught? Of course you don't. They could just manage 1 kill out of that entire round. Team S8UL, they're completely thrashed in that A side, but Team EXO, they switch things up, and once again a fast execution comes in towards the B side. The recon dart has been destroyed, but the only single, or rather the 2 defenders on the B side, they've been pushed back as well. The Viper's wall goes up, and right now I feel like the Owl drone is going to buy them more space. What do you think, Floki?
Absolutely, that owl ruins to try and make sure that they don't suffer any unnecessary losses, but Pink's always
Oh,
cheeky
no.
with the shot. He does not find the angle, though. Walks into the snake bite there. Didn't really do all that much for him. Ghost in just enough space to get that spike planted, but Ghost actually gets spammed with go. I'm not too sure where he got the hit from, but thank goodness Sage has a free heal. He's going to be using that against Laga bullet.
One enemy remaining.
Vexy in this round is done and dusted. Strix tried to catch them off guard by the element of surprise, but Wimp was ready for it, and there you go. Well,
I mean-
it looks like it's going to be a clean 2-0 for the side of EXO. They don't lose any one of their players. And yeah, they're just going to play this one out as a bonus.
Pretty much. I mean, they don't really have to reinvest in their weapons. They have been flawless. But this is the first buy round for Team S8UL, and I feel like this is what they can really try and probably, I don't know, redeem themselves, get themselves the first round and get off the mark with it. But it's going to be difficult, right? Team EXO, they've been trying to take or rather catch S8UL by surprise. Every single time we have seen some fast aggressions. A benefit of that is probably to try and isolate the players who are defending a particular site, right? You always get that 5v2 or a 4v2 situations which are always going to land up in your favor, and reinforcements didn't come in that quick. But fast aggression also has some kind of drawbacks which probably Team EXO might face right now, is when there is a buy round coming in from the other team, Team S8UL. They have the guns to work with. And with that, I feel like they can be stopped dead in your tracks. When you go in with fast aggressions, you don't really have a lot of tactical awareness. You try and do your set piece executes. Drop in the smoke there, flash in here, and the jet is going to dash in. Everybody is going to enter the site. And that is basically the set piece that you predetermine from your boot camp, from your drawing room, whatever it is. In a map situation, that can lead you to some troubles at certain stages. If your player gets taken down, if you land up in a man disadvantage position, you probably won't have the opportunity to fall back and rethink your strategy once again. So that can be a problem for Team EXO. But for that, I feel like few players need to step up, and one of them has to be Strix. He's the guy who can probably stop Team EXO, give them a few kills, and establish man advantage for Team S8UL. But otherwise, it's going to be a ball rolling for Team EXO, and it's really going to be hard for them to stop.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like TEAMXO definitely need to step up a little bit over here. And Strix on the jet has the potential to do that the most, right? You can get a free peek, you can dash away. So far, looking at the setup coming in from the side of TEAMXO, they have left BINX on the B side, on the Killjoy. He's going to be the one holding that area down. And I don't know if he has enough money to get the nanosons and the alarm bot. So yeah, I think he does. I just don't think he's placed them yet. He's still holding on to them for the time being. But yeah, this is a round that the side of Seoul really need to win, because if they lose this, then they're going to be in dire straits. They're pretty much looking at the battle of a 5-0 comeback, because at that point they can have to just give it their all and just become a relentless ball of aggression that is constantly taking rounds off of EXO and not giving them a lot of room to work with. Interesting setup. I like the fact that, you know, they always put the jet and Sova together. You know, the one enables the other. The Sova can always be there to trade the jet out, and the jet can always capitalize on the information that Sova provides. A good synergy there. But the issue is, of course, going to be how fast Strix pushes it, right? We saw him in the first round go a bit too aggressive and get picked off by Wimp, starting things off. Perhaps if he hadn't been picked off, that round would have looked a lot different.
The funny part is that Team EXO, they haven't even explored the mid avenue yet. They haven't, Team S8UL, they are like compelled to put like 3 defenders in the A side, 2 in the B side. They haven't been able to defend either of them. And now Team EXO start exploring the mid avenue, then it's going to be more problems for them. Here comes the poison cloud, Team EXO trying to set up. This is going to be more of a slow execute, and like this, they are taking things slow. The Outrun has been destroyed, so no information over there. The recon data is there, and the wall comes up. Interesting stuff, and Xkali right off the bat explodes Strix. He's off the server right now, as he will try and probably bring one back, but now goes adds on to the misery. God actually brings back one. That's about it. 2v4 right now. Team S8UL looking in dire situation. Binks missed the spray. The plant is going to go down. The retake looks really hard for them.
Wow, that's a sick headshot from Binks. Xkali gets a bit too aggressive, but Ghost is there to cover him up, right? He's like, you know what, buddy, I got your back. All down to good old Batman. 1v3 is clutched it before, but this time around just doesn't have the same information to work with. There you go, EXO, they win a crucial round, and their economy starting to build up here. Things looking a bit grim for the side of Team Seoul. They need to desperately win a couple of rounds here. Otherwise, Team EXO just will run away with this half.
This is difficult for them, right? What can they possibly do at this point, team? If I was Team Seoul, I would give the side to Team EXO and probably look for a 5v5 retake. They're having trouble to try and stop Team EXO right on their tracks. How would you even stop them, right? When there are players like Excali who can blow your skull with a Marshall. That's a one-tap right at the get-go. That's the first shot of the round, and that takes away one player, your most important player already. This time it looks to be like a B execute Excali once again leading the chart. But of course, they've got this escape strategy in the form of KJ who's looking for a backstab. And with the Sage pushing in from the A side, it can be really, really important. The Owl drone is going to buy them some space. The Viper wall might go down in might go up in any second. And right at the bat, they have the round for themselves. They have the side for themselves. And it looks like another Team EXO round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they pick up the backstab. They are no longer... there's no longer the threat of you getting stabbed in the back, and the spike has also been planted. So now the onus lies completely on the side of Team Seoul to pull this back, but just a bunch of sheriffs and girls just sprays them down. No mercy whatsoever for this man. Cold-hearted Mofo, and there you go. Excali will finish the job. And Sage complimenting the rest of her team, while she herself is the reason why they won that round. But hey, you know, you always need to keep the morale up, so I'm down for a good bowl, you know, just a pep talk that your ally might be doing you when they're fragging out. Guys, they're not that good, guys. Trust me, like, I'm beating them all. They're not that good.
True that, absolutely true. But you look at Excali, right? This man has certainly nerves of steel. The confidence to fly into that position and to take your opponent down, it's really crazy. But Team EXO, they've done things perfectly so far. They have been isolating the players in the site, and they have been taking those duels perfectly. It was an eco round for Team S8UL, so I'm not gonna bash them too much for it. But once again, it looks like a buy round. The drone has tagged Badman. He will be pushed behind. The toxin screen is up once again, and Excali is once again in yellow. You know what happens right now, right? The Sage wall is gonna go up, the plant is gonna go down, and eventually, when reinforcements come in, it's probably gonna be a little too late. The players in the site right now, their job in hand would be to try and isolate a fight and win some to establish that man advantage. Bring the time, at least buy some time for reinforcements to come in. You can see that Strix is really careful for coming in from the backstab. Right now, Badman has been tagged. Excali trying to push up. This can be a little overextension. Strix with the op will probably be a liability, but Izzy actually gets one. Izzy gets two of his own. Wimp inside Dreams though. They bring two back. It's 3v3. It's still in favor of Team EXO right now because they are the ones who have the greater health. S8UL Sage kind of stabilizes the team a little bit with the heal, but it's a 3v3 retake kind of looks a little dire, especially when EXO have one player in lineups
this
already.
could be devastating. Oh no, I don't think they have this round. They don't have this round at all. Wimpy can't make it in time. The diffuser is gonna be stuck.
One enemy remaining.
Wimpy was just watching Nin to take care of the backstab. They might get a bunch of kills over here, but the round is done and dusted. Unfortunate here for the side of Team EXO. Wimp gave them a bit too much respect perhaps, and the side of Team S8UL capitalized very well on that. I think they knew that the killjoy was towards mid. They just stuck the defuse instead, knowing that Sai alone could not break that wall. Great stuff coming out here from the side of Team Seoul. They put one round on board and they make sure that the side of EXO aren't allowed to snowball out of control.
Yeah, like one small error, one small mistiming from the side of Wim. He was a little too late to get in from mid, get in from oranges, but I feel like one unforced error and Team S8 will thrive on it. This is what their capability is, right? If EXO make mistakes, they know how to get rounds on board as well. But this time around, yeah, I guess they are trying to do something different. They're trying to explore mid at this point. Excali is in a very aggressive position, can be a very big threat, but Sai is already in enemy territory, Floki.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at this man. He is so deep in. I don't think they have any idea he's there either. He's just holding, very, very patient. They've got all the time in the world to work with. Look at that clock, 63 seconds it says, and he's gonna drown that clock down as much as he can. Well, as the first piece of Killjoy utility being used, the lockdown towards A, the Hunter's Fury being forced out to try and take it down. They will be able to get it. God Vexy will not tag an enemy, but will tag up one of his friends, unfortunately. And Sai will finally be activated. He finds one, gets traded out, but that's okay. That's the opening they were looking for. What is the side of EXO going to do now? 4 of the players still huddled up towards A. They'll use the lockdown. They didn't get much value out of it. Do they have Blackhawk's pit? No, they don't. But they have the rest to work with. They can still try and force their Strix. Gets Excali, but in the end, Wimp is going to trade him out, and there's the res available as well on Ghost. So he's going to be bringing someone back to life when need be. But now, though, just needs to evade the lockdown. No slow orbs remaining. Wimp has actually been detained, which is somewhat unfortunate. Ghost. Oh, he tried to go for the peak, but Binks actually outdoes him. There you go, they might actually be able to stick the defuse. No, the turret gets them, and there's still another Nano Swarm to work against here. Buying them a lot of time.
It's a cage and a Viper.
Oh boy, they're not even gonna try to take the fight.
Nano Swarms, Poised Cloud, as well as your Snake Bites. What can you possibly do? Blackhawk gets both of them. But it was even done and dusted even before the frags came through. I mean, you have a cage and a Viper who know their lineups. What else do you need, Floki?
Textbook example of what pain feels like in a 2v2. I mean, they didn't even try and take the fight. They were just like, you know what, the utility is going to do our work for us. We don't need to take fights. Take notes, people. This is the kind of stuff that's going to get you more points and rank. But, yeah, great stuff here by the side of TEAMXO. Just playing that down to perfection. Had the best two agents for that post plant situation. Ghost, yeah, he died, but, you know, he did his job. Spotted out one, set up for the trade. That's all that really matters. And I hear a watch this somewhere. I believe that is on the side of Team Soul. Strix has pulled his knife out. They're still going to try and make this work somehow. Sai is going to take a bad man though. And Strix, can he find a fifth? No, he cannot. Sai found 4. He's looking for the fifth. What the hell just happened? Blink and you miss it. Sai with the boat looking for the fifth. Won't find it. Excali will deny him.
Okay, I blinked my eye for a second and I was like, wait, Sai gets his 4th. I didn't even understand how he got his, like, what, second, third kill. I saw him getting Batman though. That was nice. And here he's probably gonna spray transfer 3 people to Oblivion.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I just saw him spray down like so many people in a row. I don't even realize they were all close together like that. I mean, Sai just... insane stuff. I think every single player on EXO is having a highlight round in this half so far. I think Excali's had one, Coles has had one, Sai's had one. Now Badman's looking for his on the side of Team Soul as he's yet to do much by himself. 0-7-0 on that Viper, just trying to survive and do some work for his team. Sai looking to tag someone up with the owl drone. Does he see anyone? Well, he did manage to spot out Batman, but couldn't get a tag off on him. There you go. They're just going to try to make do with the ultimate. And well, the ult does help Excali a little bit, but Context is going to be able to clean him up. Colt finds Batman though, and that's the Viper spin out of the equation. Sai is going to pick up Strix as well. Everyone from the side of Soul just biting the dust. Binks is going to go down as well. It's all down to Ezzy. He has the res, but he's against 4 people. This is impossible.
Spike planted.
Yeah, all he has to do is probably save his gun, but even that is going to get denied. Wimp was like, he gets his 3rd kill, but how did things open up? It was a good strategy from Batman. It was a good read from Soul as a whole to kind of try and use the Viper Spit on the A side to try and block the entry point. But you look at TEAMXO, right? They keep pressing forward. They don't care. They send in that Hunter's Fury to try and kind of, you know, shuffle the defense up a little bit, shake them up a little bit, and here comes the Jet flying in with their knives. Both these 2 utility, 2 ultimates were used to kind of shake them up, try and bolster the defense, and when that was done, the rest of the players, including Ghost, Sai, and others, they just ran into the Viper Spit. They got some good frags, but this time TEAMXO, they're doing completely different. A B fat sack coming in from Team Soul, but that's not where TEAMXO is. They are in mid. They've got 2 kills already for themselves. Sai will actually get picked off by God Vexy. Another man with caught with his pants down, but Excali is there to save him. Once again, a second frag for this man, Team Soul. They're getting ripped apart right now. Flying Jet pulling off some enemy moves, and Excali with a triple kill. This is surely a reel for him. This is surely some Instagram reel.
Absolutely, I can totally see it either way. You know, he's like, 3K in my match against Soul, like and follow. But yeah, that was a sick move from the Jet. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you want to see a Jet pull off. You know, just complete confidence, no hesitation whatsoever. Takes the fight against Binks, takes him down. But that was an eco for the side of Team Soul. Perhaps this is the round where they can start making a comeback. They still have 3 to go. 8-4 is not a good scoreline for them, but if you win the pistol, you might have a fighting chance here, and that's what they're looking for at the moment. It's going to be super hard, but they have all the tools that they need right now. Strix on that operator, Binks on that Killjoy with his entire set of utility, and you can see EXO already playing this quite differently. Sai is the one being super aggressive, and he's found Binks to start things off. That's the Killjoy out of the equation. They do have a res available, but I don't think he's in a position to be resurrected. Sai will be covering that, and now going in towards Tube. The Sage Wall still hasn't been used, and looks like EXO, they're making their way towards A. It's completely open. Look at Excali, he doesn't even care. He just goes on the ropes. He's like, I'm gonna make all the noise in the world. Sai being set up for the flank is gonna find Easy in the meantime. And that's it. This round is done and dusted. Badman, he's here, but I don't know how much he can do. He's gonna get checked, and shoulder checked, and wipe checked, and then he's gonna bite the dust. Now Strix does know that one player. I guess he doesn't. I guess he doesn't.
I love what Sai did in this round, right? He was the man, he was the MVP, who just took the round. He was like, alright, this round is mine. He pushes up, right? Getting the KJ wasn't really easy. You push up in enemy territory. He has done this a second time in a row right now. He pushes up in enemy territory and once again gets a frag for himself, but he doesn't give away his kill, right? He falls back, but he tells the rest of the team to go towards A side while he cuts the defense in half. He positions himself in a backstab position where 3 other players will get caught off guard. He gets more frags for himself and also the final frag, a 3k for him. A nice round for the side of TEAMXO. 9-1 already. So fortunately, the 8-4 scoreline isn't really happening, but the curse is still on. 9-3 scoreline might be on the cards. Once again, Sai pushes the defense up back. SE will be pushed backwards, but TEAMXO, they know that there are a lot of players towards the B side. They might try and go towards the A where Batman is pushing up. This can be bad news for the Soul Viper. Team Soul's Viper. Soul Viper is a different player.
Yeah, well, different games, guys. Don't get confused. Batman looking to open up the scoreboard. Does find one. That's a spike being taken. Now, a lot of information given over to his team. He might have only gotten one frag, but that frag is high impact. Excali somehow sees Banks for a moment, takes his dome lead off. I don't even know what the hell did I just see there, but Strix with the Guardian looking to do something similar. Godmax in a good position. Could have gotten 2, but it's only going to get 1 before being traded out. Blackhawk, there you go. There's the Viper spit being used. Strix, well, he is going to clean that kill up. Big for him, but Sai cleans him up. Blackhawk's Viper spit doing all the work there, making sure that he was only 1 bullet away from death. And now Ezzy on the flank. They have an idea that he could be there, so they're not really sticking their head out, trying to check. It's going to be Excali's job to clear this angle. Now does see him, and even though he dies, he's given information over to Sai. The resurrection's going to come through, and this one's going to actually become a little bit harder for Sai. Sai is going to have to stick the plant here. No time to go over towards B. The recon dot of the Hunter's Fury. 1v2. How does he decide to play this? I think it's a little bit aggressively. I like it. I don't think they're gonna be expecting this. He's gonna get checked. Gets spotted out. Oh my god, Sai! This man! Beautiful, beautiful gunplay.
I mean, when Riot mentioned precise gunplay, they probably meant Sai, right? But once again, in a 1v2 situation, you always have to play aggressive, and that is what Sai did. I didn't imagine he would just tap them out of existence in such fashion, right? He gets Ezzy, he gets Badman, 2 shots, 2 bullets used. The gun barrel isn't overused, Floki. It gets hot sometimes if you try and spray down too many people. So Sai keeps it effective, keeps it efficient, keeps it cool. 2 bullets, 2 players, 2 kills. But once again, you look at what TEAMXO did. They're always on the right side of the trades. They're getting their entry frags. They're also pushing up. This time they did a fake for the first time. They had to do a fake because there were 3 players fast stacking towards a B. Now though, 10-1 the scoreline. TEAMXO once again trying to steamroll their way inside. It's all green in the A side right now. The recon dart pushes through. I like what TEAMXO is doing, right? They're playing with the mindset of Team Soul right now. In spite of having so many players, they're trying to push forward. The Hunter Spirit does come in. Ghost is gonna go down, but Excali has the nice, he pushes them down. Wim gets 2 of his own. And now he sets up for the lockdown. 2v3 right now. Blackhawk kind of struggling. A lot of players coming in for S8UL, but the defense looks a bit weak.
And Ezzy, he's just going to try to make his way out of the lockdown, just making sure he doesn't get detained. The plant's going to go down as well, and Ezzy is going to take the long road back. Blackhawk using his own wall to... come on, Blackhawk. Even you know that's a bit too cheeky there, buddy. Yeah, at this point, they're just having fun. Ezzy gonna get shoved out by the recon dart, but they might have fit off more than they can chew. Whip it quite low. Looking to make work happen in this situation. It is doable, but I think Ezzy knows what he's up to, and that dart might have given it away. Spots him out. He's gonna stick the plant. And Wimp fakes some sound, but Ezzy knows, but he checks it, and that's what Wimp was hoping for. My goodness.
Oh.
A bit too close to the chest there for EXO, but Soul, this is This is devastating for them.
TEAMXO, they're leaps and bounds ahead. They're like 2 miles ahead. They're thinking for the future, right? You saw what Wimp did there. I mean, individually, EXO players have been better than Team Soul, and if you look at it collectively, they've been a unit which is like a team and a half for Team Soul at this point. 11-1, a score line, a half, which probably is the biggest lead that I have casted personally. I haven't seen a 12-0. This is probably the first time I'm seeing an 11-1. Team EXO, this is hard for Team Soul at this point, but what can they possibly do? They have things, they can start afresh their attacking side. If they win the pistol round, they will get one more round default. It's still going to be like, what, 8 rounds trailing. So it's not easy. It's certainly not easy, but they can still make it. And one man who can probably do it is probably going to be Strix.
Absolutely. Second round though, it's gonna be Blackhawk who decides to be a bit aggressive once again, pushing his own poison cloud. Not something they might expect over here. Blackhawk is in such a good position to shut down this B lurk coming in, but EXO making something happen towards mid. Wimp tags up a few, but it's gonna get taken down here.
What?
Oh my god, come on, God Vexy. That is a nasty pre-fire. I think this round might have just been busted wide open by the side of Soul. 3 players alive and healthy for EXO. But unless Excali is capable of one-tapping like a complete machine, I doubt they're going to be able to see this one through. Batman's going to find him, and this round is most likely done and dusted.
Spike planted.
Yeah, Sai on the backstab as well as Sage, both of them. They take down Binks in the process, 2v3 right now, effectively, because the Sage is quite low. She can heal herself, but Ghost is trying to take this duel early. One taps as out of existence, 2v3 right now, but the clock is still ticking. They might not have a lot of time to work with. That is probably the only thing that they will be worried about, but because individually they've been able to isolate the players and exterminate them. Sai pushes back players from yellow. Nice shot dart to work with. Ghost is in an elevated position once again. A 2v3 situation for Batman. He's gonna get one, or not really, for Strix. And now even Sai's position has been given off. The clock is ticking. The bomb is gonna explode. But he's gonna get frags. He gets a triple kill for him in this dire situation. What can you expect? Like, at this point, I've just given up. You know when Sai is gonna enter into a side, this man is gonna take away kills.
Yeah, I mean, he has 20 right now, by the way, and he's doing all of this while spearheading the team. He's the one calling all the shots. Yeah, you know, he talks the talk, and he walks the walk. That's what Sai does. And because of the number of kills they got in that previous round, they can actually afford to buy up a little bit over here. I see Sai is bought up some utility. I see Excali and Coast with the Marshal each. If they can get some kills on the back of this, I think they're gonna deliver a huge blow over to the side of Soul. And Blackhawk once again. This man is just so
With a
aggressive.
shorty?
With a shorty, that too. Yeah, he's being really, really cheeky today. I don't think that's an angle where you can get a kill from. I think the shorty is designed such that if you manage to land every single pellet in that spread, that is when you get a kill.
Yeah, true that. But then I don't think at that range you will be able to do that. Even if you crouch.
It is literally the worst shotgun in the game. It is 150 bucks. Take it or leave it. It's the definition of a kata, if you know what I'm talking about. It works. It's good for 2 shots. If you miss those, you're screwed.
With Strix, so what is Team Soul waiting for right now? They've spent 30 seconds on the clock trying to get map control. They get no real estate. And here comes Batman. Wait, what? He gets away with murder. That's 1 kill from that cheap shotgun that you just talked about. Batman, though, gets another frag with the Spectre. Team Soul at this point, they're trying to make something happen. Strix gets another one. Team EXO are sort of in the backseat at this point. This round is more done and dusted than it's ever been. Classic as well as a Marshal, but Excali, out of nowhere, I had no idea where Excali he came from. He gets Batman in the process. So that's good. It's 2v3 once again. The jet is quite low. Wimp trying to be cheeky as always. God Vexy isolates. Excali takes him down with the ghost. Wimp is going to take the frag. No right clicks for you, my man. Strix is just gonna drive by with the Spectre, and Team Soul, they get the 3rd round for themselves. Just like I mentioned, 11-3, it's doable, but they're still trailing by 8 rounds, which isn't really the healthiest position you want to be in.
Yep. I mean, you know, this is like, you're fighting chance of your soul on the back of your economy, but realistically, when the first buy round comes up, which does seem to be now. You know, EXO, they're really going to give you a run for their money. And if you look over on the side of Team Soul. They're gonna try to save up. They're gonna try to play this one as a bit of a bonus. I see a couple of the players have saved up the Spectres. The other ones have bought into the Vandals. I'm not sure. If they lose this round, I think they're pretty much done for here. And EXO, they're gonna have the patience of a saint. They're playing defense. They don't need to make any aggressive maneuvers on the map. And well, as I say that, Wimp actually walks down towards mid and places an alarm bot there. So can have mid cover for the guys. It's gonna allow them to rotate. Oh, a Blackhawk, good for one, is gonna be able to back off. Did actually get the target he was looking for. Shot through the wall and got the head of someone else instead. Batman is also gonna be taken out by Excali, and yeah, Batman. I know you guys can't see this, but he's raging in the chat, and he says, "A nice shot over to Excali." Oh boy.
Poor guy, Excali once again in position. He does have the better gun right now.
Yeah.
B side execute looks probable with Team Soul. Will they push back though?
Nailed them.
One more. Dinks him. Is just casually walking to his death. Two more players to go, waiting for their opportunity. As soon as the Poison Cloud dismisses, I feel like Excali is just going to tap him out of resistance. Will he? Not really. Binks though survives that. Blackhawk still in position with the Marshall. Missed the first shot, and now Team Soul, they have a chance. They will get a retrieved weapon. Strikes. 49 HP to work with. Sai, not today, my man. Wimp is going to get another one as well as Team X, so they clean things up. Clean sweep Team Soul in their first buy round, just like you mentioned, Floki. And yeah, Team EXO, they're one step away from winning this first map.
Absolutely. TEAMXO, they've played absolutely wonderfully so far. I don't think there's been a single flaw that I can point out or a single issue with the way they've been pulling out these rounds time and time again. You know, apart from the obvious ones, you know, where they get a little bit too cheeky with the shorties and whatnot. But hey, that's acceptable when you're this far ahead. I mean, look at EXO, right? They've completely decimated the side of Team Soul. And Team Soul, they've strung together whatever they can. I see a Stinger in the hands of Binks. Forwardy weapon. Excali has a Vandal in his hands, takes out the sentry, and Whip as well is going to find Ezzy. Whip is also going to find Strix. Okay then, Whip. I guess they are not entering your sight today.
No, this man is like shops closed.
Give him the ace. Come back tomorrow, not today. And the ace
Yes.
comes through for Whip.
Defenders win.
That's the map for the side of Team EXO, just like we thought. I mean, Icebox going the way of EXO. This is, I don't even know what to say. I just think Soul got completely spanked there. This is just, it's just a little bit sad to watch. I hope that, you know, they are able to wake up for the side of Bind and they're able to put up a much better performance. But yeah, I think they're all frustrated. They're frustrated that they only got 3 rounds against the side of Team EXO on Icebox. And by the way, you know, I mean, Icebox, I think offense, I'm not sure actually. Is Icebox offense considered to have a slighter advantage, or is that Icebox defense? I
It's
don't have the stats on
it's
that.
it's a little offense. You can say like it's
Okay.
on paper, it's a little offensive sided because like the B side execute sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. But yeah, I mean it's still a 50-50, and it doesn't really matter who how you start, how you finish, because at the end of the day, you both are gonna play. But nonetheless, I feel like Icebox was a little too much for Team S8UL now. Right now, for them, like they would definitely need a pep talk. And Binks, being at the helm of the team, I feel like he's probably the best man to cheer the entire team up. Right now, there can be no better leader in this dire situation. But for them to try and come back against EXO in the map of Bind is a realistic possibility. Icebox wasn't really their best map, but Bind is. Bind is a map where Binks loves to play the Raze, and I guess with the change agents, that can be a possibility. But before that, we're gonna have a look at the highlights where we will analyze a little bit. It's more like Team EXO highlights, isn't it? Look.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I don't even know what happened in that last match. I think ever since the pistol, Soul just caught with their pants down and they completely destroyed the side of Soul. Soul, a little bit frustrated. You know, I know you guys didn't catch that, but Batman just wrote in chat after he got one-shotted by Excali, and then he realized, whoops, wrong chat. Nice shot, Excali. And yeah, proceeded to rage in team chat is what I'm guessing. But yeah, just goes on to highlight just how frustrating it can be to play against these teams sometimes. You know, you keep throwing things at them, they keep deflecting it like it's nothing, and when you're in the spot, like you need new ideas. You need a way to try and make a comeback over here. Everything
Yeah.
that Soul tried, it got shut down, and I think That is a little frustrating, but they're gonna have to reset from this. Bind is a map that they have been known for even before the roster shuffle. So I'm hoping that these guys are able to make Bind work. But yeah, the proof is in the pudding. We're gonna have to wait and see because I do believe Sai plays the KO on that map. So curious to see how that works out for them.
We'll have to find that out, but of course, in this one, Team S8UL, they were completely owned. Like, if you try and break this down, right, you would see that every single duel that was taken by Team EXO, they won it. It wasn't even like a duel, or it wasn't even like always 1v1s. It was 1v3s, 1v2s that the likes of Psy, the likes of Ghost, the likes of Xkali, they're winning things, right? And with Wimp and Blackhawk, in the lines with the utility, they've been far ahead as a unit. Team
Yep.
Soul, they tried every single thing. They tried to use like a Viper Spade. They've put in lockdowns. They put in every single piece of utility that they can use to probably defend their side, but it just wasn't useful. Team X, so they don't even bother to probably abandon the side A and try and go towards side B. What do you do when you put up a Viper Spade, right? Your mindset is to try and tunnel vision the team to move on to the other side where probably more players are waiting for you to greet them, right? But nah, this
Yeah.
team is like, now we are adamant. We will push through all the greens that you can set up for us. And of course, they take down the Viper in the process as well multiple times. So it's really easy for them to do that. But on the map bind, I'm not really sure. This was Team EXO's pick, and they win convincingly. 12-3, the scoreline, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
On the map bind though, this is going to be a little too close. I'm not really sure if Team Soul will win that map, but yeah, for sure it's going to be close.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a bit more competitive coming in from the side of Seoul. But hey, time will tell. We can theorize and we can hypothesize all we want. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. And until we see Seoul actually play that map against the side of EXO, we're not going to know. Which is why we're going to cut to a short break and come back with the next map as soon as we're ready. Until then, you're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656 and our accessories partner Cosmic Byte. Check the links down in the description below for some discounts, the links to their website. You're going to be able to get yourself some good merchandise. And on top of that, make sure you scan the QR code when it pops up to get yourself some Red Bull. Be energized with this match and, just enjoy it to its fullest potential. Until then, we're going to be back with map number 2. You're watching the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3.
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656 and our accessories partner Cosmic Byte. I'm Floki, with me is Salty. Today's match is EXO versus the side of Seoul, the first fixture of the day, and EXO, they've already taken one map against them. We move on to the next one, it's going to be Bind. And Salty, I hope that the side of Seoul can step up, because if you're looking at that scoreboard, you know exactly what went down on that first map. EXO showed no mercy whatsoever to Seoul.
Exactly. It was like a hammering down of Team Soul right in front of our eyes. It was like TEAMXO, they ran bulldozers over them. Right through the map of Icebox, you kind of imagine like all the 3 rounds that they win, right, came out of like cheeky plays, like that cheeky defuse that happened towards the B side and whatnot. But that's in the past. I guess that's done and dusted. You can't really change that. But what you can change is how you play on the map of Vine. And I'm pretty sure the Team Soul will have a stronger game in this one. Pings, I'm expecting him to pick up the raise, and I'm expecting him to be at his flamboyant best. I feel like that is his best agent. He shouldn't really move into a sentinel role. He has to lead from the front when it comes to this team. And of course, we have the agent selection screen, and Bings has insta-locked that raise. Of course, when he does it, you cannot blame him. It is a double duelist composition that we can see from the side of Team X, from the side of Team Soul. I couldn't see much from the side of Team EXO. All I know is that they have a double initiator composition, while on the other side of Team Soul, we have a double duelist composition, including a Raze and a Jet.
Well, I saw the side of TEAMXO actually pick up the SOA, not going for the KO just yet, which is very interesting because usually I've seen them play the KO on this map and also on Split, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be coming out this time around. Instead, they rely on the good old Sky plus SOA combo. You've got information for days. You can really exploit the fact that the map has very open bomb sites and, you can just go in with no cares whatsoever. And of course, you've got your controller as well. It's going to be Coast playing that Astra and Sai playing that Killjoy. A little, a change of pace for him. He's probably going to be the one doing a lot more lurk work. And yeah, let's see what's going to end up happening over here. I'm very curious to see how they run this lineup because typically, if you're playing the Killjoy, then you're going to be lurking. But he's the IGL of the team, so I don't know how this experiment's going to pan out. Well, we'll find out, I guess. Excali perched up towards Hooker, waiting for the push to come in. Big sees one, gets instantly deleted. The boom bot also goes down as he's looking to pick up the ghost. Oh my god! 2 for the price of 1. He gets a kill through the head of another person, but gets taken down by Win, who's here to help him out. Batman also tries, but the spike is dropped outside of Hooker. God, Vexy, they're coming in all the way from Gardens with the backstab, looking to catch Black Hawk off guard. Strix also coming in. We have to be aware. Sai coming in from the defender's spawn area. Just needs 1 bullet to kill out God Vexy. Oh, you're trying to jump spot him, and God Vexy rock meet hard place. Well,
Wow.
he's gonna meet Sai's classic before he actually even sees what the hard place was.
Hookah, a bind, or a graveyard, Loki. It was like where 10 players went down. Not 10 players, at least like 5 or 6 or 7 something. But it's funny the Team Soul didn't really do much in that round apart from like trying to push in through Hookah as well as through Gardens. The players coming in from Gardens were a bit too late as the aggression in Hookah already happened. Players went down, and then when they reach, the defenders are already outside Hookah and they've gone away already. So it's like a really weird push that we got to see. But Team EXO once again being at their best. I'm actually surprised I don't see a Brimstone in this map. The gravity pull. Just drag him out. Just drag him out of the corner. Bings though surviving that 12 HP to work when the God Vexy gets taken down in return. Bings vulnerable. Excali once again caps another guy out of existence. Does have the shorty to work with. Oh my god, this man is ruthless. This is not something that you do in competitive games.
Yeah, shorty for a secondary. I don't even know what to say. Excali, what a beast. Just casually gets a kill with it, dashes away. I think he used 2 dashes in that round. So yeah, that just goes on to show how active he is on that duelist role. 2-0, quick round for EXO as we move into the first buy. Phantoms and Vandals available for the side of Soul. This is their best chance of bringing it back and trying to make sure EXO don't run away with the lead like they did on Icebox. Setup coming in towards A, not leaving much up to mystery over here. It's actually going to be Binks on the lurk on that raise there, looking to make something happen. They're trying to push out towards B main, get some information. Binks breaks the recon dart and is going to start backing off now.
Look at the fat stack on A short. How many utility did the dump in Team EXO?
I mean, I see 2 stars. I see a couple of nano swarms in there as well. There's a turret. Hold on to that area. Yeah, they're just not getting in from shot anytime soon. That's for sure. Ghost gonna drop down another star towards B main. In the meantime, can recall one back from Hooker. It does get it back. He plays it towards shot though. That's the question. Excali trying to watch both places at once. Kind of hard for him to do that, but Coles...
Oh no.
Oh, he's looking to make a contact. He finds one point, still looking to flick on the third, but Excali's got him covered over there. He's gonna find another one. He's gonna take down Ezzy. It's all down to Strix. He got a dink, but that's all he got, and now he's stuck in dice. Or rather, this corner, whatever it's called. I forgot its name, but yeah, Strix, he is, well,
nice.
in a hot spot. As I say that, he just one-taps Excali out of existence. 1v3 now. Potentially a 1v2 considering how low Sai is, but he's getting chipped at from multiple angles, and Blackhawk will be there to finish the job. Team EXO, they make it look so effortless.
Especially Ghost. That man
Oh,
just
yeah.
opened things up, right? In a shot, cash. I mean, he was completely open. Look at this. He's vulnerable. He has no cover. He's just standing there, standing and delivering what you would call it in cricketing terms. Excali from Heavens was like, yeah, I have got the Marshall. I can get 2 frags. Easy for this. Easy for this team, actually. No aggression worked out. The B aggression didn't work out. The A aggression didn't work out. Now, it's interesting that Team Soul aren't really pulling back from fights. They want to take this. They want to take this to TEAMXO, and that's a good approach. Sai through the smoke, sprays down Ezzy. Nice work. I mean, you can trace down the bullets and you can spray them down, but of course, Team Soul, this is going to be their eco round, so not really expecting much from them.
My God, this is... Oh, boy. I don't even know what to call this. They're just completely destroying them. I mean, it's a need round. I understand that, but they haven't even found an
Spike
opening.
down, attacker spawn.
They literally got ran at in their faces. They didn't even get to take the fights they wanted. Look at the size literally outside of bathroom. He's like, you know what, we're gonna push you into oblivion. This is not only them beating them in terms of rounds, they're also beating them in terms of economy, and they're winning the mental game too. You know, they're just like, oh, you think we're gonna wait and respect you because, you know, you have shares and maybe if you find an opening you get the spike down? No! We're gonna take fights against you. What the hell are you gonna do about that? And yeah, it doesn't
Could
seem
have played
like...
5 duelists.
Yeah, absolutely. Little known fact, EXO, even though they play, you know, double initiators and double controllers, they all have hearts of duelists. Well, this time around, they're going to change the setup a bit. Have the controller and the sentinel holding down A, while on B, you've got Excali who sees when he sees the barrel sticking out. What the hell is that flash, Blackhawk? What the hell? Oh no! Batman's going to clean up too!
This is bad. This is bad. Wimdo gets tagged. Jinx 1, but at least gets straight out. Team Soul in a good position. 4v2 for them right now, but TEAMXO still have the lockdown to work with. But reinforcements come in from 2 different angles. One probably is going to come in from hookah, one is coming in from CT, so it's not really the ideal way of approaching things. Sai takes down Ezzy, goes try and go for the gravity wells as well. It's just one player, Sai, with a lockdown and a Dream. Of course, Dream is there in Sai's name, so ironical over there. Sova is waiting for him to come through. He probably predicted this approach. God, Vexy, not really spotting him. 1v2 right now. He knows where a player is. He knows there's one in Cubby. But the second one is still unknown. He'll try and check elbow, but both of them are inside. Strix is going to spray him down. Team Soul, in spite of getting those 2 stray kills, completely random from Batman. Like, Blackhawk's Hawk wasn't really good over there, because of which they got 2 frags, but...
It's putting it lightly. I mean, that... I don't even want to... You know what, we're just going to leave it. We're just going to leave it. We're not going to talk about it. Moving on to the next round, the side effects, so they still have a bye remaining, so they're going to fight this one out. But, yeah, thankfully, all the rounds that they won previously, it's enabled them to buy that operator up the second time. And that's pretty much what you want for Excali, who has now decided that he's going to take his operator towards A instead. Doesn't see anyone there, so it means it's going to be down to Wimp and Blackhawk to hold this down. They do have a couple of Astro Stars to work with. And Wimp just spot out one. They've got a lot of information. The Soa using the Hunter's Streak to try and find a pick. Ends up tagging 2, but can he find Wimp? No, he cannot. Tag is all he's going to get for now. And Excali, he's made his way towards B now. So the operator is in play. He succeeded in delaying the push by a great margin. But Strix is going to go in regardless. Excali is going to find one. But oh my god, look at the flurry of trades coming in from the side of Team Soul. They bust the side wide open. Now it is all down to Coast and Side to try and make this work. God Vexy on the lurk though. Spots outside, cleans him up. Coast is coming in late, so perhaps we can have this to work with. Spinks on the case. Half aware, half unaware. It does get cleaned up, but it's still a 1v3 and a hard one on that for Coast. Well, Coast, I guess it's time to prove yourself again.
Maybe tries to pre-fire. He does have 3 stars to work with. Tags down Strix quite a lot. He has no information to work with, and that's probably the worst part of it. TEAMXO, they don't have money to probably rebuy next round, so they might save at this point, but...
Just economic damage at this point on the side of it.
Pretty much. The Team Soul, they recover. They recover from really the rock bottom. They started 4-0, which probably could have been the worst start for them. But right now, 4-2. I feel it's a respectable scoreline. And Team Soul, they've been looking more fearless at this point. I feel like they are getting on the right side of the trade, so which is a good thing. They have been busting open the B side. The A side was literally impenetrable, but the B side is more doable, at least with the Hunter's Fury, which kind of shakes up the defense a little bit.
Absolutely. And once again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They're going to play a bit more of a slower game this time around. They spread their players out, looking to get some information and then play off of that, while 3 players hold out shut to find any sort of unscrupulous aggression there. Godbex, he spots out 1. The Jet has been spotted, but Excali is actually pushing in. This could be huge. Ghost in a good position. Good to get 1. Can't find the second one though, but he has set up for Sai. As the Nano Swarms at the ready, but they have side control. Batman will throw up the Viper Spin and get that spike planted. Now it's all down to Sai to cut off the rest of them. Does find 1. Looking for the second. Still alive, and that's what matters. In a 4v3 for his team, they can just try and play the trade game. It's going to be hard to do so with Sai. Oh, wait, never mind. Whip actually has the ult at the ready. He's going to force people out of that Viper Spin. Excali good for 2. The flash being flown out as well from Blackhawk. This round all hinges on Batman. Can he make this work? The clock is ticking. He knows where the spike is planted. It is planted for him. He can spray it down from outside the pit. Spots out 1, needs to tag the other one. Can he find him? No, he cannot, unfortunately. And Excali will be able to tag that defuse. If he actually got that kill, maybe, just maybe, he would have bought enough time so that the defuse could not come in. But at man in a 1v4, I think that's a bit too much to ask from the man.
Too many players for TEAMXO surviving in the dire end of things. Team Soul, they probably would have survived in a 2v2 situation or 2v3 situation at max, but a 2v4 or a 1v4 was just too much for Batman over there. You see a lot of ultimates being invested in that round. You see a Sova Hunter's Fury. I feel like the Hunter's Fury was probably the best of things. Batman trying to pull off his Viper Spit, which was also a good one, but the Astral Divide trying to deny the sound cues was an overstatement. I feel like TEAMXO were more prepared for the Astral Divide than they were ever. They didn't really need sound cues for the spam. But nonetheless, it's Excali once again in a very aggressive position. He will be pushed back, but this looks like to be an A push. Banks with a showstopper once again, dashing in. It's flashing for sure, but will it get the kill? Not really. Ghost denies him. Nice job. Sai through triple boxes, but he's been sprayed down. It's a 1-for-1. Still, things are in favor of Team Soul, but they're taking slow for a little bit. The Seekers are out. The Sky is going to stabilize the team for a little bit, but Excali, though, has been tagged quite a lot.
Man, look at the shock darts coming in. Just trying to hunt for X. That Wolf is gonna scout out 2 players. That is absolutely massive for the side of Team X. So they know exactly where the hit is coming from now, and where most of the players are huddled up too. Map control in their favor. No one really pinching them on the backstab though. They're just holding on to the side. You can see Team Soul, they are waiting for a misstep, but that doesn't come in, so they're gonna have to take the initiative here and try and get that spike planted. Batman not gonna plant default, instead gonna try and plant a little bit more open. Is gonna be successful in getting it down, not get tagged up, and Godbex he found Excali in the meanwhile, bringing it to a 4v3. Can they pull this off though? 2 of the players very, very low on HP. It's gonna be down to Blackhawk to try and work his magic. 24 seconds on the second flash. He's gonna throw out 1. Gets the blind down, but he checks the wrong angle. Godbex, he cleans him up. Now it's down to a 2v4. Is it doable? That's the question. Nice Cosmic Divide. Wimp is gonna be good for 1, but he did lose Ghost for it, and he threw the snakebite before he died. No way on earth he gets that defuse as he's gonna clean him up on the retreat. Soul make another round work, but they had to commit another ultimate.
They're playing these well on the back of some nice ultimates. I feel like this Astral Divide was perfect from TEAMXO, but yeah, they just didn't think about the possibility for player coming in from Lamps. Batman once again overstepping for a little bit, but I guess this is probably the 3rd time he has done this. He has done this in Icebox. He's kind of overstepped his own wall a couple of times, and this time it was an Astral Divide. So
Yep.
Just a weird connection.
Definitely. Well, let's see what's gonna happen now. For now. Side picked up the sheriff. Oh boy. That's a nasty way to find out where the team is. No. Oh, big backstab, but Batman is in his mind and he knows what's up. 5v4 now, pretty doable round here for the side of Oh no, Binks. Binks
This-
not really going where he intended for them to go. Instead, finding their way inside the teleporter. Wimp is going to be able to clean up Strix with the Sheriff, but Badman is going to be able to clean him out in turn. And Binks is contending, taking that fight against Blackhawk, who had a Vandal in his hands but couldn't do much. Goes towards the end, will clean one up and pick up the Vandal for himself. ENIGMA have a fighting chance here, but it's 2v3. Spamming through the Viper wall, does get taken down by God Vexy there in the end. And Sai going for the big backstab, they all take the teleport. At least I can find gun though, I think.
Sure he can, but at 47 HP, I guess he wouldn't really do much. This is an ego round, I guess. They've done well. They've taken down 2 players from the side of Team Soul, giving them some economic damage. Ezzy, his position has been spotted. The sign knows that he can take a couple of exit frags at the bare minimum. Gravity World does come through though. Just waiting for these players to pop off. The plant is there, the clock is ticking, but Team Soul, what they want to do right now is probably try and clean Sai up so that they can probably get most of the cash that they can. Sai's all the way back in spawn. This man wants to save this weapon.
No, I think he's just trying to play this one out for trees. He still probably wants to die. I don't think he's gonna have enough money left over to buy utility in the next round. Or maybe he does. I don't know exactly what the amount of money you get is for surviving the round without, you know, winning it. So Sai doesn't have the best money in the world, but he's gonna be able to save up the Phantom, so that's good for him. Does he have someone coming up? Is he gonna be small? They saw each other. They saw each other, but in the end, Sai survived, and that's what matters. Does he have enough money remaining for utility though? Yes, he does. Okay then. EXO coming up with another buy, an operator online on Excali, but yet to really find a lot of success here. I did see him pop off one round with it, you know, get himself 2 kills and do a lot of work, but might need to do a little bit more over here because his team is sort of depending on it. And look at that plethora of utility on A. It is literally impossible for them to get in. And Excali playing the other part of the map, trying to they're trying to find him with the hunters. Really, Blackhawk in the meantime has been tagged down quite low. Wimp holding on to tag in the meantime, looking for the second one. Will find Badman as well. Will the timing favor him? God, Vexy still holding on. Excali finds another towards Hookah in the meantime. And okay, Binks does find Sai. There is an opportunity over here, but there's only one player surviving now, and it's going to be Binks. They're both so low though. Blackhawk is low as hell. So is Excali, and they're moving in slowly but surely, creeping up. It's all a setup for Ghost to come in from the backstab. A crucial round picked up by EXO here. They take the operator into the next one. Sai might have to work with a Spectre, but that's okay.
I love this. I absolutely love this, right? They push back Excali from that B long territory with the owl drone, and they thought like it would be completely empty, but Wimp is there to try and lock down the side for them. And he gets 2 free kills, like 2 players 1v1ing him at their very best. The third was a little overstatement, but he could have got the third as well. So it's good stuff from Team EXO. They are playing things ahead of Team Soul, but once again, he's going to peek the same angle. Excali is there with the op, but that's not where the aggression is. You can see the 2 players from Team EXO. They've pushed up Showers quite a little bit, and Strix was forced backwards. So Team Soul, they're still double thinking at this point. They're still trying to understand where they should come in. But look at it, where Excali is. He has some information that they're going back. But are they going A? Binks has turned back. He's still hovering somewhere around mid.
I mean, Ghost and Sai are still over here. This is still going to be a super hard take for them to pull through. They need to walk into a bunch of Nano Swarms, walk into Nano, take care of the other. But now there's a Hunter shooting as well. Win! Oh my god, how many kills is he going to get? He tags up so many people with that ult. Absolutely insane stuff coming in from him. And Sai is looking to clean them up. Blackhawk finds one. Strix still in lamp. Sai finds another. Whip is gonna find one, and it's all down to Ezzy, who was also tagged up by the Hunters. This round, it's done and dusted. EXO, they put up a very important 7th on board. It's gonna give them that slight breathing room that they need on offense.
Last round in the half.
It is probably the safety net that Team EXO was looking for, but once again, if you look at the overarching storyline, if you look at the overarching way both the teams have played, Team Soul, they've been paranoid of what side they want to pursue. The B side, they were successful in cracking that open, but I mean, courtesy to a Blackhawk flash and miscommunication between Excali and Blackhawk, that one occasion was possible, and then again it was an eco round. But now with Excali on the op and he's doing ever so good, with Wim on backup, I feel like Team Soul, they're having hard times right now. Once again, Excali though, this is a very aggressive position to hold with an op as he cleans one up. Ghost will push back. Spawn for the next round as he pushes in. TEAMXO will try and make something happen. The Wiper Spit! The Wiper Spit completely disrespected. Bingso puts an end to the shenanigans, but Blackhawk is there to trade him. Strakes once again finds another trade for himself. Here comes a lockdown from Sai, and he is gonna welcome them to showers while Wim is on the backstab. He's gonna clean so many players all by himself. They won't be able to retrieve the spike. They won't be able to get away with kills. The timing was really bad, but Sai wins 2-0 no matter what. God, Rexy just messed up a little bit, and now it's all on Ezzy. Spectre. Doesn't really matter if it's Singularity or not. Recondart reveals his position once again. The spike is in enemy territory. He needs to retrieve it, plant it, as well as get away with 2 kills. That's not going to be easy, especially with his position tagged up. He has 100 HP. He has 50 shield. He has 1 star available with him, but it's not really possible.
Oh man, I love the play coming in from Sai. He actually decided not to make complete sound and just run towards this over to try and play trades. Instead, he walks his way there. So there was still the suspicion inside Ezzy's mind that the Killjoy could be holding the spike, guarding it towards bathrooms. And this is why Sai is on another mental level. 8-4 now in favor of TEAMXO as we move into the pistol. Now it's going to be them on offense, and their lineup looks very, very strong on that. They don't have a Viper to work with, but their Astra can set up for offense rather easily with the plethora of stars that she has at her disposal. Plus, you've got a Sky with the flashes and Soa with all his information, so Excali, he's going to be having a field day. The Vipers want to help them out towards Hookah as well as Gardens, so it's going to be a little bit useful, but I don't know how much more Batman can do for his team. Godvexy, early recon dart towards B main. Doesn't want to leave though.
Strakes falling back. The Owl Drone is going to buy them some space in TEAMXO. So they're actually steamrolling their way in on the back of it. Strakes through the Viper wall. Find Excali. A random ding and a random kill for them. The Team Soul Bings in a really aggressive position. This is probably not the best way used to start this round. Of course, with the turret, he is going to get taken down. Blackhawk was there. 2 players were in 2 players along with the turret. So it's a third man for the team. 4v4 right now. Things are still in favor of TEAMXO. Ghost winning the duel. Godvexy will be taken down once again, but they're still not yet into enemy territory. They're still not yet in the B side and getting map control at that yet. They're trying to get kills for themselves, and Wim gets another one. They're isolating these frags and they're winning every single duel. What else do you need? They clean 5 players up. They don't even need map control. They don't even need to plant the spike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know at this point. They just won all of their individual 1v1s and the round was over right there. Soul just getting caught off guard here. Caught napping and EXO punished heavily. This is not looking good for them. They need... I don't even know if they force buy on this one. Maybe they buy a couple of shotguns here. Maybe a sheriff here and there to try and stop the bleeding. No, they're going to try and save and play this the disciplined way. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be a hard road, but they're going to try to make this work anyway. EXO.
Blocking sight.
Let's see if they can pull this round off cleanly without losing too many people, because that's going to determine if they're going to have a good third round or not in this half. They're spamming lamps in the meantime, making sure no one can come out from that area, and there you go, they have control of the A side. No Sage Wall to try and stop them, but the sort of utility that they have will help them. Excali finds one, Sai finds one, Wim finds one, Ghost finds one. And there you go. Excali will finish the job, find Godvexy, and the round's done and dusted. All of the players surviving on EXO.
It was a flawless. It probably was an eco round for them with Spectres on hand, so it wasn't really difficult for them to try and clean things up. But it's important how their mentality works, right? Every single time they've been winning these 1v1 duels, and at one point Team Soul will be devastated and they will be afraid of taking these 1v1 fights, which again works in your favor and gives them the edge in every single 1v1 fight. So it's like building up on that emotional block where Team Soul is like, they are getting the confidence is getting depleted time and time again. 10-4 the scoreline. They were beaten down to a pulp in the map of Icebox and are en route in the map of Bind. Once again, the flash comes through. Khalid pushes up. He takes this duel. He wins it against it easy, and wasn't even like he had a weaponry advantage. They had a Phantom to work with, and this man wins the duel with a Spectre.
And yeah, I don't know what just happened over there. That should not have been a duel that he lost, but guess the Spectre is not that bad for gun after all. Batman inside triple box. Oh no, getting under there. That is a painful death for him.
The floor is lava.
Absolutely.
Spike planted.
Floor is lava, and Batman has feet forgotten it. As they melted away and he passed on. Coast. Triple box might be in for a surprise, but Binks looks away at the worst possible time and ends up getting dinked. It's all down to Strix now. 1v5, it's gonna have to be a clutch ace or an ace clutch. I don't know if it's even possible at this point.
How are all these Spectres winning against Phantoms at these ranges? Like at this point, you know that like the players aren't bad. It's just that the mental block that I talked about. I feel like at this point, Team Soul, they must be devastated because otherwise there is probably no reason. Pings, he's a great aimer. He's a great player overall. But he lost over there to Sai with a Spectre from Heavens to like triple boxes. That's a lot of distance to cover. I guess he lost to Ghost. I'm not really sure, but either way, it doesn't really matter. A Spectre versus a Phantom should go to a Phantom. Now, it was full buy round coming in from Soul, but it still didn't go their way. Now, the economy is in the dumpsters and TEAMXO, they're just rolling away with it. It was 13-3 in the last map. It probably is a potential 13-4 because they get a default round in this one. They have the weaponry advantage right now, and Team Soul are gonna play with Spectres, so it should be like a default 12-4. I'm not really sure if Soul can come back with a few rounds from that position on.
Absolutely. Oh, Excali, what the hell? Blink and you miss it. Goes in, gets a kill, dashes out, and now as he holding the closer angle, completely blind, is going to be cleaned up once again. Binks is low as well towards Labs. The Nano Swarm taking him down to 37 HP. Deciding to finish him off, but Strix has found two somehow. Still keeping his team in the game before he gets cleaned up by Ghost, and it's all down to God Bexy. The Spectre in his hand and then Dream. 11-4. Can he clutch this one out? Be a clutch for a lifetime if he manages to, but just is not looking possible. Ghost holding towards triple box, stinks him down, cleans him up. Match point for EXO.
Exactly.
Match point.
Map point as well as match point.
Oh, boy.
Didn't really expect this to be such a quick 2-0, honestly. TEAMXO, they just did not stop. Like, it was 74 at one point. It was 5-4 at one point, in fact, and we were talking about how TEAMXO, it was a very important round for them. They got themselves some breathing room, and suddenly they're like, 8 rounds lead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just shows how quickly things can snowball out of control, right? I mean, you had an 8-4 hub, not the best hub, but if you win the pistol, it's manageable. They lost the pistol. Of course, they lost the subsequent round too, and then they lost the buy round, and it's all downhill from there.
Oh no, the spray. God Vexy beaten up to a pulp at 41 HP. He falls back, does have the Aldo to work with, but at this point, I'm not even sure if you take cover, it's going to help you TEAMXO, so they're going to find you and eliminate you. The Outrun though will give them some information. They can push up, and I'm pretty sure TEAMXO will push up. The paint shield does come through. Wimp puts an end to Binks. No paint shields for you, man. The Tiger. Did the Tiger block bullets?
I think so, yeah. It does. It has a few hit points of his own, so can't do that. Oh, Batman! Good for one, but at that range can't get much more.
4v4 right now. TEAMXO still trying to buy space. No map control for them. There are players on the back. That Batman, especially with a shotgun, with a chunk of his own. This man is crucifying players from TEAMXO. Nice one from Strix. Once again, stand and deliver. Excalibur on the rotate.
Standing.
Batman will shut him down. TEAMXO has just one player remaining, and that's going to be Ghost. Does have the spike, but probably just has no information that there is Ezzy there. I thought that he's going to seek some revenge, probably going for a melee kill, but he was like, nah, it's too much.
Journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and I think the side of Team Soul have taken that first step, but can they continue on this perilous journey? It's gonna be hard, that's for sure, but hey, if they manage to do it, then they have a story to tell for ages to come. 7 rounds, that's what they need to take it to overtime. They're not in the best spot to do so. Their weaponry, not looking half bad, but the round is what's more important for them. Instant Viper spit towards a shot to prevent them from coming in, and EXO, they need to reconsider this push.
Will they? That's the question.
Binks.
I've got your
He actually
trail.
found a pick through the Viper spit there. They're gonna pop the Seekers as well. Managed to get one. Seekers deliver. They do spot on multiple players and tell them that there are 3 on A. Maybe they need to reconsider and go back. Strix on the backstep, but no, he turns it on at the worst possible time.
Wait,
don't
both
know.
of them are not.
What is happening? Oh my god, Wimp. He was clearing out B main instead. Did not check the left side corner. Strix finds another. 3v5 now for EXO. Sai is also getting cleaned up by Easy.
Right there.
Yeah, Astral Smoke to prevent their
Leave
entry
that back.
into the site from bathrooms. Both players from EXO huddled up there.
Staring at each other.
Last
Yeah,
They're
so-
player
literally
standing.
Well, guess Soul is gonna survive for another round over here.
30 seconds left.
Looks like
Soul
it,
a little bit
especially.
better. A flawless round too, that for them. That's actually kind of big. That's a big economic boost for the side of Soul.
True that. Team EXO, like, are they stretching their legs for a little bit, or is it the Team Soul is just playing better? I feel like Team EXO, the ball is on their court, they can close things out, but then at this point, Team Soul is going to take whatever is given to them. I feel like 12-6, not a bad scoreline for them to start off fresh, but like, had they had one more round probably in their bag, there is literally no safety net. One small error, and Team EXO, they take away the match. Had this been 11-6, I probably would have placed bets on behalf of Team Soul. But right now, those Strix, once again with the op, he has been the main reason they could manage to pull off a 2-round counter back. But it's going to be difficult. Ezzy takes away Xkali, not really sure where. The op delivers once again. Blackhawk has been taken down. So no flashes for the team right now, though entry and a little less information to work with. 3v5. The rest of the 3 players, though, they're safe and sound, they're healthy, and they have the utility. But Strix with an op, I guess he's planning to deal some damage.
Yep. Sai is in a horrible position. The Cosmic Divide is going to come to it's actually going to enable Sai to move out of that position. Not too sure what the purpose of that was.
Bot coming
They
back.
actually have a chance now. Wimp can't really enter from Gardens. That's the issue for him. The boom bot does give them some information. The shock dart as well. Might drop Coast down a little bit low, but no, he only gets hit by the tiny edge there. Doesn't lose as much HP. In the meantime, 5 players from the side of Soul still standing. Just take time with their utility. No need to take unnecessary fights. And Team
30
EXO, they're
seconds
gonna
left.
play this one close to the chest here. 3 members from Soul already on the side. It's gonna be a hard take. Start things
Enemy
off.
remaining.
Bank sprays down too, looking for the third, but Godbex is there to clean up. Soul will stay alive, and yeah, they're not gonna die just yet. They're still in this fight.
They are. They very much are. I'm not really sure if Team EXO, they might be resorted to an eco round. Are they not? They still have cash for one more round. But it's nice, the Team Soul, they're getting these opening frags. They are using the op well. They are placing themselves in good positions. The smokes are perfectly placed. Team EXO, they're struggling to get their opening picks, which is one of the reasons why they haven't found any sort of ground for themselves, any sort of room to breathe with. Bad Mana Flash does come through. He's going to deploy a Snake Bite to try and push back the players coming in from showers. The Outrun once again will get some information, and Xkali, will he push in though? That's the question. They haven't been winning these duels. The Pain Chill, a lovely combination. I can see that Ezzy is still there in position. Binks is trying to push him back. The Astral Divide does come through, and Xkali makes his way inside. It's going to be...
Oh,
no, the gravity well. The gravity well dislodges Binks in his positioning, and Xkalian goes to get 2 of their own. This is what they wanted. Ezzy, though, has been tucked in a corner. The moment he peeks out, it's going to be Wim, but no, Ezzy runs him head on with the Phantom. 13 HP to work with. He gets another one before getting eliminated. Ghost and Blackhawk get 2 of their own. 3v1 for God Vexy at this point. 3 players in 3 extremes, along with the turret.
oh man, he could have played around that smoke, but
Attackers win.
unfortunately just could not. In the end, EXO will clean up, but Soul, they really tried their best in the end. with 3 rounds in a row, but it just wasn't enough. The deficit was too big to cover, but they tried. And in the end, EXO, they will take this series 2-0. But Team Seoul, they're gonna have to look at what they did in these rounds. They're gonna have to look at their mistakes and come back stronger because this particular BO3 goes to the side of EXO and they don't even get a single point for it, by the way, because Seoul didn't win a map. So just unfortunate overall. They're gonna stay where they are with their 3 matches, and yeah, the road's starting to look a little bit bleak for them. I don't think it's gonna be easy for them to continue if this is gonna be the performance for the rest of the season. But hey, congratulations to EXO. A very effortless victory for them. It didn't look like they were sweating at any point in the match, even though they gave over a couple of rounds to the side of Seoul in that second map. It never seemed like they were not in the driver's seat, right? They were making a couple of mistakes here and there, but in the end, they were the ones who had it under control. So kudos to them for being able to win this so easily.
Absolutely. I feel like Team EXO, they played perfectly, just like you mentioned. It was flawless from Icebox to Bind. For sure, a few rounds kind of felt stuck. The only mistake which I could actually point out was a flash which blinded Scully. That literally was it. We'll have a look at the match highlights and probably I'll try and look for more mistakes. But our Team EXO, they were like, nah, they're like the topper of the class, doesn't really make mistakes. The teacher is forced to give them full marks. I'm not really the teacher, though I'm not qualified to be one.
Hmm.
But yeah, just
No, we all know who you're talking about. The top tier class boy who's always like, say, you forgot to collect today's homework because he's done it and he knows he's gonna get marks and other people are not. So
oh
yeah,
my god.
nah,
But yeah,
but
I mean, at the start of things, Team Soul, they looked good. It was 5-4 the scorecard, and they were getting some good frags with them. They were getting the openings. They did play out some ultimates really well, but at some point it just felt like that, right? They just played out the ultimates well. When it was adversity on their camp, when Team EXO were getting round after round and the momentum ball was rolling for them, they just couldn't really come back, especially in one of the buy rounds that you get where you don't really have all the utility, or probably even if you get utility, you don't have enough of your ultimates. That is where Team Souls really struggle. But with their ultimates, when they had the economy on their
mhm.
side, they played decently well. It was 5-4 at some point, and then all of a sudden it was just 12-4, and Team EXO just bulldozed their way to victory.
Yep, they absolutely did. I don't think there was a point where I could say that Seoul didn't try. They were really trying their best, but in the end, it's just a lack of experience compared to the wealth of experience that the side of Team EXO have, right? They've been playing together for much longer. In the meantime, Seoul recently underwent a roster shuffle, so it's not as easy for them to try and have the same impact that EXO might have. So the fans are gonna have to be a little patient. They're gonna have to uh, allow them to take their time and get better and play as a unit, and maybe then we can start seeing some results. But until then, the road's going to be hard. It's going to be rocky. But if you stick through it, well, you might just see some glory days coming for Seoul eventually. Not today, though. Today, it's going to be Team EXO's day because they did win it out and they did it very convincingly. I have to say, Seoul kept it very competitive for the first 10 rounds. It seemed like it could have
Yeah,
been anybody's game, but towards the end, there, it seemed like EXO had a bit of a read. And I think there was one crucial round in particular by EXO where Cali instead decided to go for light shields and drop Psy a phantom over. I think it was this round in particular where they got their seventh one. He was like, guys, if we win this round, we have an advantage. It is absolutely worth it to drop me a phantom. And then he got himself a phantom and he made it work. And EXO, and they pulled out another clutch as well. I think even this was a sick play by Psy, by the way. He's gonna get this kill and notice what he's gonna do next. He can choose to immediately run back. He does run back a little bit, but eventually starts walking because he realizes that, he needs to make sure the Astro does not have that information. So walks his way back towards the Seoul and they win that round. But yeah, overall, great attempt from the side of Seoul. EXO just played a lot better today and they're able to take this victory. I think one thing I'd like to see the side of Seoul change up is, just try and get a couple of defaults going because it seems that at the moment, once with the couple of set pieces that they have in mind they don't work, they are
yeah.
just sort of confused as to what to do. They don't really have a plan. They don't have someone who can tell them, okay, guys, this is what we're going to try next. This is what we're going to do. Let's try this. It just doesn't seem to be the case for the side of Seoul. And yeah, I'm hoping that they're able to learn from these mistakes, not only individual, but also the team mistakes they've made and come back stronger. Because we all know what the potential of this team is. They have the potential to make it to the playoffs. They have the potential to maybe even cause an upset over here. But until they get that synergy going, it's going to be super hard for them. So For now, it's going to be EXO taking these two maps. We don't even get to see a Sentinel, which kind of sucks. But let's have a look at the group standings and see how it affects the overall positioning of all of these teams here.
The group standings, though, there is going to be one shuffle. It was a battle of the extremes. One team completely clean, 3-0. There hasn't been a team who is capable of beating Team EXO as of yet in this group. In the group of death, Team EXO, they're dominating 5 points from their first 3 games. Team Seoul, though, I feel they started off with 2 defeats. This is going to be their 3rd defeat, so they won't trickle down to the 8th spot because M42 are yet to open their account. They're yet to get a map on both their series, but this was supposedly a 2-0 for Seoul, so they're not moving up by any means. ROG Academy, they're still going to be holding that 6th position. God Particles are going to be holding on the 5th position as well. And Team EXO, wonderfully retaining that number 1 spot. Shining glory for them. They're unbeaten as of yet. And my prediction would be that they would be unbeaten throughout the group stages. It's going to be really hard for any team in particular to beat their side right now, considering the kind of form and the kind of synergy they're in. Team Valor, Team True Rippers, as well as Team Exploit are the toughest contenders for the playoff spot. But of course, God Particles would be another team who can give them a run for their money, especially when they play more games. I feel like True Rippers, as well as Team Exploit. Exploit, being from a different region, they surprise us all, Floki. But God Particles is a team that has been there in the playoffs, that has been there in finals before. So yeah, they will definitely be a lineup that can cause upsets at this point. Team Valor is one of the teams that came in as underdogs in season 1, but now in season 3, they have so much experience and so much I don't know, capabilities that they're just pulling off games, they're pulling off upsets, and now they are a top tier team at this point. 5 points from 3 games. So overall, this group really looks good, but we have some teams who are really struggling. M42 and Seoul, a lot of teams had eyes on these 2 teams, especially because of the players that they contain. Seoul because of Bings and others, and M42 because, of course, we have Ankit Venampant over there. But both these 2 teams are struggling considering that they're very new teams and underwent recent roster changes. But apart from that, the teams that have stuck together for a long time right now, they're the ones who are performing in this market.
Absolutely, and I think that's about sums it up. I think Valor is definitely the team to look out for if you're interested in this group. Also, EXO, absolutely. But we also have the dark horses. We have God Particles, like you mentioned. Maybe even M42 Esports can step up and catch us all by surprise and make their way into the playoffs on the back of the next few games. You never know. And if you want to know, you're actually going to have to make sure you subscribe and click the notification icon so that way you don't miss a single match whenever we go live. Catch all the action. So all the action that's coming in. But yeah, let's have a look at the next matchup for today. Let's move on down over to the fixtures and see what match we're going to be having later on today at 8 p.m. It's going to be FSESPORTS going up against Only Friends. I believe that is a Group A match. So if you want to see that, make sure you tune in so you can catch the storyline that is forming in that particular group. Make sure you're in tune for the playoffs that will happen eventually. But yeah, for now, it's going to be EXO versus Seoul with EXO taking the win 2-0. I think that about does it for us. I think we're ready to say our goodbyes as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for cheering for your favorite teams. Make sure you check the links down in the description below and check out our amazing sponsors, Crucial 656 and Cosmic Bike. Maybe they can hook you up with a couple of things that you don't have. And of course, when the QR code pops up, scan it, get yourself some Red Bull, and enjoy the match. With that said, though, thank you for tuning in. You're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial with our apparel partner 656. Our accessories partner Cosmic Byte. We'd see you later today at 8 o'clock.